Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Julie Montague, the American Viscountess. And on today's vlog, I will be discussing how I became a royal commentator. But before that, be sure to subscribe, turn notifications on to make sure that you are the first to know when I release a video, which is twice a week. Every Thursday, there is a vlog on my life as an American Viscountess, and every Sunday is an episode where I travel around Great Britain exploring other incredible historic houses. So I thought I would fill you all in on actually how I became a royal commentator. Many of you have asked this question, and now I'm going to spill the beans if you like. No, I have never been trained to be a journalist or be a presenter in any way, shape, or form. I mean, unless you kind of count, I was a cheerleader before, so I was a cheerleader, and I suspect maybe that helped a little bit with the stage, whatever stage that is, but also I do teach yoga. So I've been teaching yoga now for, goodness me, 15 years. And so being in front of people, I think that teaching yoga in front of people has helped to obviously give me a boost of confidence. But as far as becoming a royal commentator, it was really accidental. And this is really about, in one sense, how I got that job, if you like, but also about saying yes to opportunities that you know probably are good ones to say yes to, even though you might feel like, oh, that's a lot of work, but it probably would be a good thing. So I was actually teaching yoga in London, and I remember exactly when it happened, and I was walking down the stairs in London out of the studio, and my phone rang. I didn't recognize the number, but I answered it, and it was a BBC producer. That BBC producer said that she had read a little bit about me and that I had married into the aristocracy, and they were interested in talking to me about what it was like because Meghan and Harry were engaged. Now, I was not allowed to tell anybody that they were engaged, but they were going to be announcing their engagement very soon. And of course, as would happen, a lot of press knew about it beforehand so that they could prepare for the announcement. That's totally normal. But I couldn't, of course, tell anybody. So they wanted to interview me down at Mapperton, like literally the next day. I had a yoga job in London, also 4 children, going to school in London. And it was difficult for me to just, at a moment's notice, head down to Mapperton and actually be in full hair and makeup and have an interview and a whole crew arrive. So I kind of had to think about it for a bit. But I ended up saying yes, and I left that evening to head down to Mapperton here, which is about 3 hours from London, and BBC arrives, and I ended up doing an interview. The interview that I did was really just about how what it was like for me marrying into the aristocracy and what it might be like for Meghan marrying into the royal family. I was told that it would just be maybe, I don't know, a couple of minutes, and the next thing I know, about 2 days later, they announced their engagement. Again, I was teaching yoga. As I'm teaching yoga, I always have my phone on Do Not Disturb, of course, but I could see just like constant text messages, constant, you know, when you can get missed calls even when it's Do Not Disturb, just constant coming up, and everybody's in downward facing dog. I'm like, what is going on with my phone? And I thought something, you know, it might have been something with my children or something. So while they were in downward facing dog, I ended up looking at my phone, and it was so many other networks asking if I could come on their program or their radio show to talk about the engagement of Meghan and Harry. And I'd realized as soon as I finished teaching that my segment for the BBC ended up being much longer than just 2 minutes. I think it might be, I can't remember now, but I think it was the long version that went out was 5 to 7 minutes, and it went global. It literally, that interview was picked up by so many networks around the world that I was inundated. And I mean, the next 24 hours were crazy. I was reporting outside Buckingham Palace for BBC. That was for BBC Breakfast. I was on radio programs. I was on ITV, Good Morning Britain. I was on some American networks, and within 24 hours, I had 3 networks all asking me to then commentate at the royal wedding, Windsor Castle. And I really had to make a decision between reporting and commentating for BBC or for ITV and going on their program with Piers Morgan. And I made the decision that I would go on BBC because I knew that BBC would then broadcast out probably a little bit more than ITV Good Morning Britain. And so I made that decision, and it was a wise decision in hindsight, and I'm so happy I did. And the week leading up to the wedding, I should say the week of the wedding, I was on, oh my goodness, I was on the Megyn Kelly show, which is, I think was a part of the Today Show.
Instinct says. Okay. My instinct says.
Yeah, you just don't have to do a mudra though with your. What should I do? Yeah, I was on Fox. I did something on CNN. I did something, I'm sure, somewhere on CBS, yes, but I was exclusive with BBC for the wedding day, and a lot of Australian television too, I forgot that. So the week leading up to the wedding, I was just being interviewed over and over again about what I thought it might be like for Meghan. And then of course, lo and behold, it was the wedding in May, and I was lucky enough to be in the grounds of Windsor Castle, literally in the grounds with all the other press. I think ABC was next to the BBC tent on one side. NBC, of course, all the networks were there. But I was pretty much commentating all day for different sort of BBC stations and, of course, radio stations. I mean, it was really, really full on. And it was so much fun. I had a hat made. I had a dress made for it. It was a beautiful blue sky. There was such excitement in the air. The weather was just fantastic, and for me, truly, it was a wonderful day. And really, that is what kickstarted this sort of part-time career where I'm commentating on the royals. And it's not just Meghan and Harry that I've been commentating on since 2018, since they married. I was able actually to go to Buckingham Palace and again commentate with BBC on Trump's visit when he went to Buckingham Palace. And I was able to commentate with Katty Kay from BBC World America. And then I've also commentated quite a bit on, of course, William and Kate, and of course the Queen herself. Lots to do with the Queen, especially leading up to the Platinum Jubilee, which will be in several months from now, which is very, very exciting. I think I had 24 interviews after the Oprah Winfrey interview with Meghan and Harry. I commentated, I think it was 24 times, a mixture between radio and television. But one of the exciting things that I did over lockdown was I was on, I can't remember how many programs they were, but I think in total maybe it was between 8 and 10. And some of you might have seen me on it, but that has really put me forward into a role where I'm not just commentating on the current royals, but I'm also commentating and being involved in programs made about royals of the past. So Queen Mary of Teck, Edward VII, Edward VIII, Wallis Simpson, George V, George VI. And that's been really exciting to be able to talk about that. I've also been able to commentate on royal palaces. And my latest TV appearance was on the CNN original series, which was called Diana, which just aired in America recently. I think it was October 2021 is when it started, and it will be coming over, I know, to the UK, and I suspect to other parts of the world as well. And that's a 6-part series about the life and really the death of Princess Diana from pretty much the moment she was born to the moment she died, and I was fortunate enough to be on every single one of those episodes. So really, what was exciting for me is marrying into the aristocracy, and I really wanted to do this as well, has allowed me to really take the time to understand as much as I can and learn about British history. So I'm lucky enough to have a family that I married into that of course helps me with that. And there's so many connections of past between the family that I married into and kings and queens of the past. And I'll be doing another vlog on that, on the relationship between the Montague Sandwich family and past queens and kings. And it's something that I've just really absorbed. So I just really have, over the, since I've married into this family 20 years ago, I've really made sure that I've educated myself by reading up on, in particular, the royal family, past and present, because that's something that I'm actually really interested in. So that is really my story of actually how I became a royal commentator. I had no experience prior to that, and I think I wanted to end with, it's never too late to do something that you want to do. I said yes to this opportunity, even though it was kind of a hassle because of logistics, but I made it work because it was something that I wanted to do. I never knew that it would open up a whole new world and a whole new, really, career for me. And it's been a fantastic platform. Just that one interview that I did for BBC about the engagement of Harry and Meghan, that one interview I did has been a tremendous platform for me to be able to be on such incredible programs and documentaries. So that is my story, and there'll be lots more of me out and about on different networks, again reporting about the royals, and in particular about the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, which is just about to start. Of course, we are in 2022, so there's so many festivities and plans around and celebrations around her Platinum Jubilee, and you can be sure to see me discussing that as well. So thank you all so much for joining me, and again, please do hit the like button, hit subscribe, turn your notifications on, comment down below, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon.